Hi, and welcome to Indemo. If you're new here, you're probably wondering a few things. What exactly is Indemo? What can I invest in here? And how does it all work? So let me walk you through it. Indemo is an EU-regulated investment firm that gives everyday investors access to a part of the real estate market that, until recently, was mostly reserved for banks, funds, and other institutional players. And that difference matters, because we're not just trying to be another high-yield platform. We're building around real assets, real collateral, and a more thoughtful way to invest. What does Indemo do? At the heart of Indemo is a very specific type of investing. We focus on discounted, mortgage-backed debt secured by Spanish residential real estate. In plain English, that means loans that stop being repaid, but are still backed by property. Now here is the key idea. On Indemo, you're not buying the apartment itself. You're not becoming a landlord. You're not renovating a property. You're not dealing with tenants, maintenance, or all the usual headaches that come with direct ownership. Instead, you're investing in the loan purchased at a significant discount secured by that property through a regulated investment structure. So why do we think this is compelling? Because the investment logic is strong. Real estate is one of the most established and understandable asset classes out there. But direct property investing is expensive, concentrated, and operationally heavy for most people. What makes this model different is the entry point. We're not entering at full market value and hoping everything goes right. The foundation of this strategy is that the loan is acquired at a deep discount, and that creates a margin of safety from the start. That margin of safety is one of the most important ideas to understand about Indemo. Because when you start from a discounted entry point, you are not relying on speculation or fast appreciation. You're starting from a stronger position. Crash course, how it works. So here is a quick version of how the whole process works. It starts with a bank-issued mortgage loan in Spain that is no longer being repaid. At that point, a bank will often choose to sell that loan and move on, instead of spending years trying to recover the money themselves. Banks usually want to free up cash, reduce complexity, and clean up their balance sheet. That is where Indemo's partners come in. They buy these loans at a discount, meaning for less than the full debt amount, as well as for less than the estimated value of the property being behind the loan. That discount matters, because it creates a margin of safety from the start. Now, once a loan is acquired, the focus shifts to the recovery strategy. And this is important. There's not just one way to recover value. There are three main paths. The first is legal recovery. This is a court-driven route. It can end with a foreclosure auction, or if the auction does not succeed, with taking over the property and selling it later. The second is the out-of-court settlement. This can sometimes be faster and more efficient. The borrower may agree to sell the property, refinance the debt, or reach another negotiated solution outside the courtroom. The third is a sale on the NPL market. In some cases, the debt itself can be sold later in the process to another buyer at a higher price. So the key idea is this. We're not relying on just one path, and the path is selected by a professional debt market player under the supervision of the Central Bank of Spain, with a focus on maximizing possible profit within the shortest realistic time frame. There is more than one way to work toward the target return for investors. Now, where do investors come in? When you invest on Indemo, you invest through notes, asset-backed securities. These notes are linked to a specific underlying case. So you are not just investing into something abstract. You're investing into a real recovery process connected to real estate collateral. To keep it simple, investors help fund the recovery of these discounted loans through that structure. And as the money is recovered, it flows back through the structure to investors. First, investors receive their initial investment back. Then, after that, the remaining proceeds are used to pay interest under the profit-sharing arrangements with the servicing company, which led the process. So that is a full cycle. The bank sells a problem loan, Indemo's partners buy it at a discount and work to recover value through one of the several possible paths. Investors fund that process through notes, and when value is recovered, investors get principals back first and interest after that. So that means that it's not a fixed interest savings product. It is a real recovery outcome-led investment. The timing and the result depend on how the underlying case plays out. What makes Indemo different? For me, what makes Indemo interesting is that it opens a door that used to be closed to most people. Historically, this kind of investing was mostly done by banks, funds, and professional buyers of distressed real estate debt. Indemo gives individual investors access to the same parts of the market through a regulated structure. So the mission here is not just about returns. It's about access. Unique access to institutional-grade opportunities, access to real collateral, access to the services of professional servicing, access to a more grounded way of investing in real estate, and access through a structure designed around transparency and investor protection. Closing. At the same time, I want to be clear about something. This is investing, not a savings deposit or bond. So while the model is built around real assets, discounted entry, and professional servicing, timing is never something that we should oversimplify. That is why we believe the right investing mindset is calm, long-term, and rational. Not chasing hype, not chasing shortcuts, but understanding the logic, understanding the structure, and putting your capital to work in something backed by real collateral in the most appealing real estate market in Europe. That is the spirit of Indemo. So if you're looking for a more grounded alternative to speculative investing and a smarter way to access real estate-backed opportunities, you're in the right place. Welcome to Indemo.